a five-man midfield today. Andy Gray getting his first cap, the Crystal Palace player, and so is Andy Sinton of Queen's Park Rangers. Rocastle recalled after an absence of 2 years. Lineker, the lone striker, and no Beardsley, not even on the subs bench. Well, Terry Venables and Jimmy Hill with us for the big football occasion, as usual, and we'll hear from them in due course. And we'll have the whole of the second half live coming up for you. But first, let's show you what's been happening so far. Highlights of the first half, and the commentators Trevor Brooking and John Motson.
Here's Furtok for Poland. On the left, Jobert. Dangerous player with lots of pace. And he's got Furtok unmarked on the edge of the area. They'll have to cover here. But still Jobert. And now Poland force a corner. He's very fast, the number 11 from Montpellier in France. Number 3, Valdok has come forward for the corner. Oh, and the header at the near post, Furtok. They're appealing for a corner. A goal kick's been given, but that was close.
Well, as you can see, the corner coming over, and he comes off the far post, unmarked. Downward header, not a very good one. Unfortunately for England, went past the post.
Sinton for England. This is going to be a testing opening period, because the Poles, knowing that they've got to win to have any chance of qualifying, and then if they can, win by some goals to try and offset the threat of the Republic of Ireland. It's a very tight group, and who would have thought it would have come to this on the last night with the matches being played simultaneously. Here's Kozetsky, number 7, leaving it for Urban, the captain. Skipchak, number 2, Vajika. And Lee Dixon ought to cover that. Now David Rocastle for England on the right-hand side. Jeff Thomas. Sinton. Free kick given. Quickly taken by Thomas to Sinton. Quick thinking. Sinton! Good effort. Quick thinking by Jeff Thomas, Trevor.
Very good. Good early touch as well for Andy Sinton. As you see, cutting inside, because he can use both feet. Got the confidence, even at this level, though, to take the long-range shot, although Bacco held it. And with Vashika out there, who's not particularly that good defensively, I think it'd be a good idea to get the ball to Andy Sinton early and see if he can take him on.
Here's Andy Gray, also making his first appearance. Play on. The referee worked an advantage there for England. Didn't quite accrue. Up goes Lineker. Here's Gray. Trying to shake off the challenge of Chahovsky. Dixon now. Rocastle. Lineker just inside him. Rocastle going for the line. Jobert had to cover. That was a good sign, because Rocastle got right in the heart of it there. And Andy Gray has a long throw, which Crystal Palace fans and those of Aston Villa will know all about. And will it be used here to England's advantage? If it is, David Platt's the man to watch for on the goal line, on the corner of the 6-yard box. Here he is. Gray again. Driven! Well, side netting.
A little bit optimistic from that range. As you see, gets the ball back, and I don't think anyone would be expected to score from there, although he might have just caught the goalkeeper Bacco napping.
Dixon. This is Platt. It's fallen well for Rocastle. Sinton. Rocastle. Platt wants it. Side footer. Had Bacco scrambling a bit.
Likes to come from those deep positions, David Platt, and given a freer role, David Rocastle just nudging it. David Platt hitting it early,
Offside, Vertok. Poland's record this year, 1991, not very impressive. Only 2 wins in 10 matches. And only by coming late against the Republic of Ireland did they revive their flagging hopes in this group. But tonight, a winning performance could send them to Sweden, and it would put England out. Here's Lineker. Sinton. Here comes Platt. Gray's on the far side! And he holds his head because that was a clear-cut chance. 26 minutes gone, Platt flicked the ball on and Gray missed the goal.
Well, good touch on there in the centre, and Andy Gray just snatched at it. Saw glory perhaps, but it was a good build-up by England. As you see, Andy Sinton turning inside, whipping in the cross. Touched on there by David Platt, and it's Andy Gray there, just on the volley. I think perhaps at Crystal Palace he would have been expected to score.
Jobert. Well, it was Rocastle's challenge. It looked to me as though he played the ball, but the referee is unhappy about it. It's a free kick to Poland. He made a lot of ground to get that tackle in, David Rocastle. But when he finally stretched his foot out, well, I think that's a harsh decision, but there you go. And he's... Number 5 hit it, Shevchik. Oh, it's been deflected in. Poland have scored. Poland have taken the lead. What a cruel piece of luck here for England. Shevchik drives it from 25 yards, and it spins, I think, off Mabbutt past Chris Woods.
Big test for the newer players, suddenly to go behind in an international match, one of such importance, and just got to try and keep their composure and try and pass the ball around and get back into this match.
Well, what a test now for Graham Taylor's England team, and indeed for his own reputation in this stadium with so much at stake. Dixon, Platt, that was Skipchak who came through from midfield, and England are having to battle for everything here. The Poles with their tails up, 1 goal to the good. An element of luck about it, but that doesn't really matter as far as they're concerned. Here's Robert Wajcika, and it's Kozetski. And Vertok's in the middle, coming in now. And it's been cleared by Mabbutt.
That was a magnificent interception because England took a quick free kick, got called out, and you can see Vertok lurking, but Mabbutt knocked it away for the corner.
Oh, it was Kozetski who came in, the little man.
As you can see, pulled back, headed it, good downward header. Chris Woods got to it. Stuart Pearce would have knocked it away on the post as well. But again, just allowed that worrying free header, although he was a long way out.
1-0 down at half-time. For you now with Trevor and John, and England in trouble.
Well, good evening from Poznan, and as you say, things right on the line here. The first piece of news I have for you is that there is now an England substitution. Alan Smith of Arsenal is on, wearing number 12, playing up front with Lineker, of course, and the man who's gone off is Andy Gray, who missed that first half chance that you've seen. That's the change that Graham Taylor has made, because England have to score now, remember, to stay in the European Championship. Chachowski for Poland, number 6, as they attack at the beginning of the second half, and this is Urban, and it's still Urban, the captain. Oh, stretching tackle by Des Walker. Rocastle. And now the man who scored the goal, Shevchik, number 5, a wicked deflection, as you've seen, off Gary Mabbutt, who otherwise is probably England's best player in that first half. Free kick. Now, what do you make of the change of play here, Trevor?
Well, he's decided, Graham Taylor, to bring on one immediately. Alan Smith, of course, will now play up with Gary Lineker, so the 5-man midfield has disappeared at half-time. More narrow, a 4-4-2 or 4-2-4 depending how the two wide men are pushing up at that time. Sinton playing on the left, Rocastle wide on the right. Also got the option with Ian Wright and Tony Daly. I would say if it went on, I'd favour Tony Daly's pace perhaps more, and we'll just have to see if that addition of Alan Smith, who, when Republic played here, certainly the Polish defence did struggle in the air, but you've got to give quality crosses, so perhaps Alan Smith's height might be a telling factor later in the half.
And bear in mind, too, that the way things stand at this moment, Poland, there's the tackle that caused the delay, but the way things stand at the moment, Poland have a good chance of going to Sweden because they're winning and the Republic of Ireland are drawing. Anyway, that's all to be debated later, because the important thing for England is they've got to bring their own ship in order. And here's Thomas to Pearce. Sinton over on the left. England, who've only been beaten once in a World Cup or European Championship qualifying match since 1982, 33 games, 12 draws, 20 wins and only 1 defeat. That was at home to Denmark, and it cost Bobby Robson the chance of qualifying for the Europeans. And now Graham Taylor's hopes have been dented here in Poznan. Walker. Skipczak is number 8 for Poland here, the dark-haired player in midfield. Over on the far side, Wajcika looks for Furtok, number 9. Wajcika, the right-sided number 2, plays for Everton. Here's Jobert, number 11. Urban. And the free kick is given against David Platt. Jobert to take it. But fortunately for England, it was straight to Chris Woods. Well, there'll be a few hearts fluttering, I'm sure, back at home, the way this game has gone. Dixon. Smith. Rocastle to Platt, and now it's Dixon. England needing to get hold of the game and start to dictate things. And it's Alan Smith. Just come on. Not a bad cross. Lineker's backing off a bit to get a header in, but couldn't get any real height or power into it.
Alan Smith crossing the ball, probably needed Alan Smith in the centre to head that one, just going beyond Gary Lineker and couldn't get the power.
Dixon forward to Rocastle, the Arsenal combination. Foul by Chahovsky, the number 6. Free kick to England. Stuart Pearce has come across to take it. They've got an obvious target now in there in Smith. Pearce is wondering perhaps about a shot with his left foot. And that's what came, but not as successful as the one that Poland had in the first half from a not dissimilar position.
Well, it's a long way out, and Stuart Pearce perhaps going for the extra power, just getting underneath it. And that passing more dangerously, of course, for the terraces behind the goal. But just needs somebody to get hold of the game now, to stamp their authority. But it's an inexperienced side, and you just need somebody to show their character now.
Urban for Poland. Long-range shot from the Polish captain. Those of you coming in from work who may just have turned on, 5 minutes gone in the second half here in Poznan, and it's bad news for England. Poland lead by 1-0. A free kick by Shevchik after 32 minutes. And unlike that shot from Urban that went well wide, Shevchik's effort was deflected by Gary Mabbutt past Chris Woods, and England trailed by that goal, and therefore have to get level to have any chance of going to Sweden. Here's Furtok to Jobert. player down is Urban, the captain, and he's the captain tonight, the number 10, because Tarasiewicz, the experienced Polish midfield player, was not selected by their coach Strelau. He's among the substitutes. It was a bit of a surprise, but in his absence, the team have performed well for Poland. Here's Smith for England, though. It's Rocastle. Making... Oh, blocked as he tried to go for the return from Lineker. But the referee just pushing away the Polish protests, and the England fans get behind their team. There are about 2,000 here. What can England do from the free kick? Platt waiting, Smith behind him, and now Mabbutt and Walker join them in there. There's a lot of pushing and shoving going on in that penalty area. Stuart Pearce drives it. There's a diving attempt by Des Walker to make contact, and the ball goes off the defender for an England throw. Just driven in, meant for Walker, I think. Smith standing on the corner of the 6-yard box. There he is. Platt's going in. Good defending, Jobert. And Poland are now being tested. It's the England fans you can hear. And Dixon to take another throw. Smith again. Oh, and it was Thomas who came in. Jeff Thomas holding his head. Just for a moment, the equaliser looked on, Trevor.
Well, Alan Smith's aerial advantage already telling. A good flick on. Jeff Thomas trying to nod it down, and it just bobbling its way beyond the far post.
Well, this was the nearest, certainly, England have come to an equaliser since Poland took the lead. Lee Dixon with the long throw, flicked on by Smith, and Thomas puts it wide. 8 minutes gone in the second half. Poland 1, England 0, and a bit of a scuffle going on. Rocastle and Urban. And the temperature here may be cool in the accepted sense with the weather, but my goodness, down there, there's so much at stake as the teams battle for a place in the final of the European Championship, and it's getting pretty tasty out there now with some of these tackles. That was Jobert who was spoken to, and while you're watching the replay, the referee decides he wants a word with the Polish number 11. Well, this is, as Rocastle gets treatment, a knife edge for England, and so much depending on this result with regard to the immediate future of the international team. You can't overstress the importance of the match being played here. And England, who only needed a draw to qualify, find themselves a goal behind. Smith, Rocastle. Smith again. That's only going to Waldock. It was cleared by number 4, Soczynski. Back in again by Dixon. Platt slides it across to Pearce. Now, can he get Sinton moving down that left-hand side? Tries to get in behind Wasiłka, but can't. And now it's Skipczak for Poland, and Robert Wasiłka continues his run on the far side. Furtok is on that side as well. It's Platt who had to run all the way back. Dixon. Ševčík has been marking Lineker, and the top England goal scorer, Gary Lineker, hasn't seen much of the goal tonight. Here's Ciechowski for Poland. It's Kozetski now, number 7. "11 minutes gone in the second half. England trail 1-0. Skipczak. And now Ševčík comes in behind Lineker again. Well, it's character and leadership that's needed out there now, as well as the obvious prize of the goal that England have got to go for. Furtok, Pearce, people like Pearce and Mabbutt and Lineker have got to keep the rest of the team hard at the task and not let heads drop, Trevor.
No, I mean, if they can just get the quality of the passing right, I don't think the Polish defence is a good defensive side, and I think if they can get in good positions out wide, get some good crosses in or some subtle balls in, there's an equaliser there.
And as Pearce takes the free kick, it's aimed at Smith. Running on here is Platt. But news coming in from Turkey that the Republic of Ireland have taken a 2-1 lead. Tony Cascarino has scored, and that, in this ever-changing situation, puts Ireland in pole position in the group. Just at this moment in time, that is. Because they have a superior goal difference to Poland. Lineker finds Rocastle. Lineker now, and Rocastle goes for the return. Chances here for England. Squared across. Oh, it's come off Skipjack, the defender, for a corner. There were three players in white shirts screaming on the far side. You can see them there. Rocastle, in fairness, did try to cross it. The defender got in the way. Corner to England. Now Gary Mabbutt has gone into the centre of the penalty area to join Thomas and Platt. My goodness, Platt. Bacco, headed by Mabbutt. Well, it would have been fitting if Gary Mabbutt could have equalised. It was his foot the free kick came off for the Polish goal. It was a poor corner initially by Andy Sinton, but when Platt got the ball back in and Bacco wasn't very convincing, Mabbutt's header drops over the goalkeeper, but unfortunately over the bar as well.
The goalkeeper, terrible punch, Bacco. Gary Mabbutt trying to loop it over everyone, just put too much into it, although the defender was covering. But the pressure beginning to mount and chances being created. Good cross by David Platt.
14 minutes gone in the second half in Poznan. They've played the match here, the Poles, because the supporters tend to be more volatile and get behind the national team in greater numbers than they do in Katowice or Warsaw. And here's Jeff Thomas freeing. Oh, Lineker's free in the middle. If only he could have just found him there. But Chachowski, who's been on trial with Chelsea, the number 6, saves the day for Poland. Lineker had a lot of space just for a minute then. Smith up there again. This is Jobert to clear for the Poles, but they're not defending particularly well at the moment. Having said that, England can't afford to overcommit to attack because they could get caught by what would surely be a killer second goal if Poland were to break away. So it's a difficult position to be in this, to say the least. And we hear that the Republic of Ireland have scored again in Istanbul. John Byrne, I think that's his second goal of the match. 3-1, the Republic lead. Jobert for Poland. Furtok waiting in the centre. Corner given. Lee Dixon has gone down injured.
I think he stretched a groin trying to block the tackle. If he has done, that's not going to be an easy one just to run off.
Well, the Polish players won't know this, of course, but they could find themselves beating England here and still not qualifying because the Republic of Ireland are doing what's been asked of them. They can do no more than win their game in Turkey and hope. It's a corner to Poland, though. Jobert to take it. offside flag is up as Skipchak has the shot. That's going to be a free kick to England. And a bit of pushing and shoving there. David Rocastle involved again. That's not... Oh, and Rocastle flung out his right hand as he ran away there from the Polish player. Arm was up, and you can't have that. Even in the heat of a match like this, you can't do that. And referee Forstinger of Austria has booked David Rocastle for raising his arm. So a yellow card, and 16 minutes gone in the second half in Poznan. Poland lead by a deflected goal after 32 minutes. Dixon. Oh, it's straight into the body of Jobert, and Dixon recovers. This outside left Jobert, who plays in France, has played against England before. He's got plenty of pace. Kozetsky now. Chachovsky, number 6. Well, I wonder what Graham Taylor feels at this moment. If the score stays this way, England will not qualify for Sweden, and the success or otherwise of the first 18 months of his stewardship with the England team depends on what happens here in the next 28 minutes or so. Smith spreads it wide, looks for Lineker. Shevchik, the marker, is with him. And so far he's hardly given Lineker a kick. And just for good measure, he scored the goal as well. Stuart Pearce with the throw. Header out by Valdock. Mabbutt. Pearce. It was Kozetsky who came in high. Free kick to England. Now, can they get bodies in here? Smith's in there, so is Thomas. Being joined now by Des Walker. And Poland moving out, looking for an offside. It went over Walker's head. It's coming towards Smith.
A mix-up by the Polish defence. They went to play offside, and then a couple of them decided, oh, it's not going to quite work, and they played Des Walker on.
That's Furtok through the middle onto Urban's pass, and England was struggling a bit there. And in comes the shot again. That was Kozetsky. And Poland really came out of defence there and broke with a good direct through ball. But now it's England's turn, perhaps, to do the same at the other end. The game shifting so swiftly here. Andy Sinton, Rocastle. Thomas's header. And Alan Smith. Oh, what a good chance. The flag, I think, was up. So it wouldn't have mattered, but the England players weren't to know that when Smith lifted that over the bar. Offside, I think, Trevor.
Well, the linesman's flag went up as actually Alan Smith hit the shot, and he was going to flag. As you see, the cross coming over from Rocastle. Good touch on by Jeff Thomas. Alan Smith wasn't offside. Luckily for him, the linesman was about to flag because Gary Lineker was offside as he was shooting. But it was a golden opportunity.
There's not much going right for England. 20 minutes into the second half here in Poznan. They trail 1-0 and face elimination from the European Championship at this stage of the evening. Well, memories of 1973 when Lineker's trying to pick up the Polish player who's making the most of it.
I must say, I'm just wondering now whether a second substitution might be thought of, and Tony Daly's pace, because they haven't just been able very often to get to the byline. His pace might just be that extra little zip that the English attack needs.
Yes, Beardsley not included among the substitutes. It's either Daly or Ian Wright really now. But it's Poland on the attack with Furtok. Good tackle, Pearce, but didn't get past Kazetsky. And then Pearce, trying to retrieve the position, brought Kazetsky down. So it's a free kick to Poland. And it's certainly as close, if not closer, than the one that brought the goal. Here's the little tussle between Kazetsky, number 7, and Stuart Pearce. And that did seem to me to be a fair decision, unlike the first one. Well, Ševčík, whose shot brought the first goal, is lined up again behind the ball, but so are 4 others this time. That's Furtok off the wall. Ševčík. Robert Vazika! The wrong side of the post, to the huge relief of the England contingent. Vazika of Everton here, finding room for the shot. Rocastle. "2,000 England fans here to support the team, but their hearts will be thumping at the moment because the game is going Poland's way. Halfway through the second half, the Poles lead by 1-0. It might not be enough to put them in the finals of the European Championships next summer, but it would certainly mean that England don't go if it stayed like this. Jobert. Number 7, Kazetsky. This is Urban. Furtok was there, good defending, had to be. Stuart Pearce. Corner to Poland. That's Soczynski with the header back in. Vazika is in there. Rocastle. Only to Jobert, though. And Jobert taking them on. Comes off Dixon this time for a corner. Good spell for the Poles. The near post flick was by Furtok, but Stuart Pearce came in behind him. Four corners in succession, but the referee saw an offence there by a Polish player in the 6-yard area, and it's a free kick to England, who can now get the ball away. And it looks as though the second England substitution is going to happen right now. There are only just over 20 minutes to go. It's desperate, absolutely desperate. And it's going to be Tony Daly in place of Andy Sinton. The two players making their debuts have not come off, or they have come off actually, off the field, but their selection hasn't been a success. Andy Gray and Andy Sinton both replaced. And onto the pitch for his first full international cap goes 24-year-old Tony Daly of Aston Villa. Can he save the night for England? He's got about 20 minutes to make an impact here. But Poland at the moment enjoying more of the possession. Jobert, number 11, takes on Dixon. That's a good cross and well taken by Chris Woods off the head of Jan Furtok.
The last 10 minutes where the Polish side have stepped up the pressure again, they've just got the better passers who spread the play better and that little bit of individual flair, and Tony Daly perhaps is going to be the one now to run at the Polish defence and try and add that to an English side working hard, but just not having that little bit extra to look as if they can break down the Polish defence.
No, we need more possession and more imagination here. The Poles themselves are going to make a change now. A defender is coming on, or will be in a moment. In the meantime, Rocastle turns. And hangs on against Thomas Baldock. The free kick has been given, but in the meantime, The Poles have got one player down and another one waiting to come on. Well, these are anxious moments, to say the least. The time ticking by. Jeff Thomas wants to take the free kick, but the Polish physiotherapist is still on the field. And Hubert Forstinger from Austria, the referee, is going to place the ball a few yards further back. It was Vashika who was injured, but he's back on his feet now. Free kick to England. Deep, but it's well dealt with by the Polish defence. And now Jan Furtok on the break. He's only got one defender, and Furtok didn't have the pace to make it tell. Challenge was by Dixon, but they're still at it, Poland. Oh, not now. That was Kozetski who gave it away. So dangerous when they break like that, the Poles. And England just can't afford to concede again. They've got to score, in fact, with just 18 minutes to go to qualify for the European Championship finals. Sochinski. Foul by Rocastle. Well, Graham Taylor has used both his permitted substitutes, Alan Smith and Tony Daly, on the pitch. If England are going to save themselves, it's got to be done by the 11 out there now. Just at this moment, the heady performance in the World Cup seems an awful long way away. But there's one of the Italia survivors, Stuart Pearce. His head certainly won't be dropping, that's for sure, but Poland know that the way things are, they've got a grip on this game. What they can't control, of course, is what's happening in Turkey. It's a free kick to Poland, to be taken by Shevchik. Urban with Mabet. Vajika coming in from the far side. This is Kozetski. Daly is trying to get to him, but he couldn't. Kozetski turns and plays Chahovsky in. And that's been set up for Urban. Oh, it's come back off Woods. Oh, what has he given? Corner. The Poles screaming for a penalty, and Chris Woods must have looked anxiously at the referee. It's really a ricochet back off the goalkeeper here that puts it in difficulty. Did Woods bring him down? Well, Furtok was the player concerned, and I have to say, trying to be impartial, it looked like a penalty to me. It looked like a penalty to me, but it's a corner, and England may have escaped. Let's just deal with the corner first before we go back over that, because it could have been curtains there. And they've wasted the corner. It's been hooked away by Jeff Thomas. Oh, what a bad header back in by Daly. This really is edge of the seat stuff. Daly now facing the right way, but beaten by Vajika. Here he... Oh, looks as though he was blocked there. Well, what about all that, Trevor Brooking?
Well, I must say, I did think it was a penalty. The first shot was Urban, was just popped out of the hands of Chris Woods. Furtok followed up, very similar as he did against Republic of Ireland to score. Pushed it past Chris Woods, his arm came up, and whether the referee's view was obscured or not, I don't know, but I was quite relieved just to see the corner.
15 minutes to go. Poland 1, England 0. Lineker lurking behind Shevchik. Didn't come for him. It might for Rocastle, or Lineker now maybe. Pulled back to Dixon. Looks for Lineker. Not a good enough ball, but neither was Urban's really. Oh, that's come off Jeff Thomas. It nearly put Des Walker the wrong side of his man. Walker did well there. Awkward for him. Lineker, Rocastle. Thomas waiting, so is Smith, so is Platt. Lineker. Foul, was it by Shevchik? Well, certainly a corner. Well, Lineker places the ball as though for a free kick. I rather think that Jobert has kicked it back for a corner. Whatever it is, Rocastle's going to take it. And Smith is coming to the near post. Now it is a corner. Up goes Mabbutt. Lineker! Oh, yes! It's there for England! It's Gary Lineker! With 13 and a half minutes to go. The corner taken by Rocastle. Gary Mabbutt comes in with a header. It's the Tottenham connection here. And Lineker volleys, giving Bacco no chance. And England are level. Superb strike by Gary Lineker. His 46th for England and maybe his most important. It's 1-1 and England are back in with a chance of qualification. Trevor Brooking.
Quite amazing. When that penalty wasn't given, you just wondered whether that was the little let-off that England needed and a goal was going to come. I didn't think it would come quite that quickly. Gary Mabbutt, who had such that cruel deflection, got the first header. And what can you say about Gary Lineker? Been well marked by their goal scorer, Shevchik, for most of the game. Gets a half chance and turns it into a stunning volley.
Well, what a football match we've got here. This is drama, to say the least. Tony Daly now on the far side. Lineker's up there again, hoping that Daly can get a cross in here. Can England go even better? Lineker at the far side. It's too long. Well, what about all that? The dispute at one end about the penalty that never was, or wasn't given. Then England not knowing whether it was a free kick or a corner. And when the corner came over, the equaliser. Is it the goal that's going to save England's European Championship chances here? With 12 minutes to go in Poznan. This is Urban for Poland. There's a lot of football to be played here yet, though. Still Urban. But what an encouragement now to this England side.
When the goal went in, Poland brought on their substitute now, Fedoruk, number 13, for the number 6, Szynkowski, who was limping earlier, so perhaps they're just throwing their last throw as well.
Yes, Adam Fedoruk from Stal Mielec, a defender, wearing 13 is on. And Poland now suddenly find that lead wiped out, their supporters silenced, and the 2,000 or so England fans full of life. And certainly some life injected back into the side by the captain. Fedoruk for Poland. Extraordinary 2 or 3 minutes of football, that, to compare with anything I've seen, I think, in the European Championship. If that penalty had been given, England could have been 2 down and out. Instead, it's 1-1 and they're in at the moment. So Fedoruk is on for Poland, and here comes, in a moment, Kowalczyk, a striker wearing number 15, only 19 years old. They've got to throw a player on now to try and get the lead back, because a draw is no good at all to the Poles. So on comes Kowalczyk. He'll play up front with Furtok. And I think it was Skipczak, the number 8, who went off. Right, free kick to Poland. Urban in there. Oh, and it came offside given on the far side by the linesman. Lineker, just for the record, now 3 goals behind Bobby Charlton's England record, but the only statistic that matters here is whether England cling on to the draw and qualify for Sweden. The fans are doing their bit, I have to say. They're making it sound like a home game. Lineker. Platt. Well, the 2 new players didn't have a lot of success, and it was 2 of the older heads, or hands, who pulled it round for England. A Mabbutt header, a Lineker volley. And there are now just 10 minutes to go here in Poznan. Daly, look at the pace. He's drawn the other defender across, but the other defender was good enough. It was Veldok. Dixon. Well, I don't know about you, Trevor, but I think the tension here could be compared with Turin in a different way. This is Thomas. Smith's in the middle, and so is Lineker. Don't think that was quite what Thomas had in mind, but what do you think?
Well, it was over here. I mean, I think that just perhaps highlights the subtlety and the touch of pass that is missing when you go for that key through ball, and the midfield area. Hopefully, if England can just keep it 1-1 and get to Sweden, the midfield area is something that they've got to work on.
Here's Daly. And number 15 there is Kowalczyk, who's just come on. He's got Furtok over on the right as well. This is Furtok. I suppose England will argue that if they got the benefit of the referee's decision on the Woods incident, then the free kick that led to Poland's goal certainly wasn't a foul by Rocastle, so you could talk about that evening itself up, I suppose, over the course of the match. Smith. And Lee Dixon slicing the ball out. This is going to be a Polish corner. England players were hoping the linesman would have flagged earlier, but he hasn't. And Robert Wajika has gone across to take the corner. Both the substitutes are in there now for Poland. That diving header by Jeff Thomas finds Lineker. England need to hold it up and not do anything silly. Thomas cracks the ball forward, but it'll go now to Bako. There are just 7 minutes to go here. For anybody who may just have come in, the score is 1-1, which would give England qualification. But it needed a Lineker goal just a few minutes ago to cancel out Poland's lead, which they held since the 32nd minute. And here's Rocastle for England. He needs to make strides here to get away from the substitute who fouls him. What a tight, tense situation we've had here. We've still got one, really. 6 minutes to go. Dixon takes the free kick. This is Lineker. And now it's Rocastle. Platt and Smith are both waiting, but it won't come in this time. Here's Dixon. Lineker. Oh, he won that well. Smith. Rocastle, two on the far post waiting. One of them is David Platt here. Can he get the header in? Away. And back in for Daly. Header by Chahovsky. Now it's Urban. Pearce looks for Lineker. Smith and Daly coming up in support. Oh, and the goalkeeper didn't collect it. He got it away from Alan Smith. 5 minutes left. Skipchak for Poland. Urban. Mabet now in the centre of the field. Can't get the tackle in. Lineker. How many times have Lineker's goals got England off the hook? Well, there's one tonight that'll be remembered, especially if the score stays like this. Certainly the performance has not been memorable or anything like it, but the occasion has, and there's still some to come. It's Fedoruk for Poland. Now Urban. Wajika. Oh, that was nearly like the goal against Ireland, where Urban dipped in between the keeper and the defender, but Woods was in charge. Dangerous move. The Irish conceded one just like this right at the end here. Talking of the Irish, they may well be eliminated as well by that Lineker goal. Here he is again. Daly makes a run across the pitch. This is Rocastle. England now in charge. Daly. Worked it well. Lineker. Platt and Smith are waiting. It's still Lineker. Smith coming in from the far side. The header was by number 4, Soczynski. And Bako gets the ball out to Kowalczyk. 4 minutes to go. And it's now Poland who've got to throw everything forward. There's Fertok. Urban. Number 11, Jobert. Urban making strides into the penalty area. Fertok's there as well, and Dixon slides in to concede the corner. England are not there yet. Sharp intake of breath here from Trevor Brooking, and indeed from most of the England supporters, I've no doubt. It's a corner to Poland. It's too long for Urban, and the player jumping at the back was Soczynski, and the danger is over for the moment. Now then, there are 3 minutes left here in Poznan. The score is Poland 1, England 1. A result, if it is the result, that will take Graham Taylor's team to Sweden. Header by Soczynski, and the referee has given England the free kick, pushing. Well, it looked increasingly pessimistic for England as the second half wore on, but it looks a whole lot better now. Smith is up there to try and help the ball on to Daly, which he does. David Platt, a great run into the middle from midfield. Back again to Smith, though, from Daly. Still Platt waits, and so does Lineker. Daly, corner. Platt held his head in the middle. If that ball had come in, he was in a great position. Graham Taylor and Laurie McMenemy, both off the bench down in front of me, signalling frantically to England players. There are only 2 minutes to go. It's England's corner, and they won't be risking quite so many players forward now, surely. Smith facing the kicker, Thomas behind him. Header by Kozetski. Rocastle gives it back to Daly. Can he get the cross in this time? No, but he can force another corner, and it all takes time. There's about a minute and a half now. Daly with the corner. Thomas up with the goalkeeper, who sets Poland off on what will surely be one of their last attacks, Kozetski. Free kick's been given for the challenge. And Poland in possession again. Fedoruk. Bashika. Robert Bashika trying, well, I would almost say in desperation there.
Well, what, just over a minute now, and hopefully that was one of the last opportunities Poland had. As you said, John, not a vintage England performance. Never quite seemed to get the attacking balance right in that first half. Conceded an unlucky deflection. Had a good spell for a quarter of an hour at the start of the second half, and just as one felt the minutes were going to tick away and them not get a goal, that man Gary Lineker conjured it up. But still, I think, to be fair, a long way to go before we can look towards perhaps challenging to actually win the European Championship.
Yes, sober thoughts there in the middle of heated action from Trevor Brooking. The time says, the watch says 30 seconds to go, plus any stoppage time that the Austrian referee may elect to add on. The score is 1-1. Here's Jobert for Poland. England must not concede now. There's Walker. They need to play the ball sensibly. This is Lineker. It's got Daly on the left, Smith on the right. And he needs support this way. It's not, oh, gave it away, really. It came back to Thomas off Fedoruk. Thomas is waving Daly forward. And the 45 minutes, or the 90 on our watch, is up. It's only stoppage time now in which England can fail to qualify for the final of the European Championship. It's been won back for them by Rocastle. This is Platt. And again, Rocastle. Dixon. Lineker chasing it down towards the corner. And referee Forstinger of Austria has had a long look at his watch. There has been some injury, some stoppage time in this second half. And this is number 4, Soczynski for Poland. Have they got one more shot left? Bertop making ground up front, and so is the 7, Kosecki. Urban's joining them now. On this side is Jobert, but it comes off Rocastle. Jobert to Urban. It's out. Goal kick. And England really within touching distance now. But dear me, what a nerve-jangling match this has been. And for so long it looked as though Poland might win it. In fact, we've now played 2.5 minutes of stoppage time. Thomas needs to go outside to Daly. Platt, Thomas. Daly is outside again now, number 16. The other side, he's got Lineker and Smith waiting. And Daly trying to do it himself. This is Pearce. Well, the referee's certainly making England wait. But they're there now. England under Graham Taylor qualify for the finals of the European Championship in Sweden, thanks to a goal on 76 minutes by, inevitably, Gary Lineker. It saved England in an awkward situation. It means that they go to Sweden, Poland and the Republic of Ireland fail to do so. And once again, the captain, Gary Lineker, is the man England have to thank. A final score here in Poznan as the England fans celebrate of Poland 1, England 1, and England are there.
England out of jail and off to Sweden, and an element of good fortune, but I thought they were worthy of the draw. Did you, Jim?
Yes, you couldn't grumble really about a draw in those circumstances. You could grumble about the play, but how narrow it was because of that penalty decision. It was a penalty, it wasn't given, and 2 minutes later, the England goal, and they're in Sweden.
So there was the element of good fortune. But overall, the draw was about right, wasn't it?
And this Gary Lineker, Terry will know more than I do, the best player in the world
on the half-turn,
from this
he can
position
hit
in
that
the
volley in
6-yard
there.
box.
Yeah.
I know it's close to goal, and you say, you know, anybody can score from there. Gary Lineker can score when others can't.
46 goal for England. He liked scoring against Poland too. That was his 6th against Poland.
He liked scoring.
He just liked scoring, quite right. The Republic of Ireland, I think, have won 3-1. They were certainly they have won 3-1 in Turkey, so it's bad luck to Jack Charlton. They did what they had to do, but it wasn't in their hands, was it?
No, it wasn't. They got a draw there. We got the same result in slightly different fashion. They did it with aerial supremacy. We ignored that and tried to play our way through and run our way through.
Lineker came good.
Yeah, I
So
think second half when we had Smith there,
We've got to get out the
aerial
programme,
rally.
Terry.
Yeah,
We'll hear what you've got to say at 10:20 tonight
Okay.
on BBC One in our Sports Night programme. See you then.